In light of what happened today during school time, I am going to make a top 5 love and hate, as some people seem to think I hate everything. I may hate a lot of things, but I don't hate everything, and that's going to be proven in this top 5, that I do like things as well as I hate things. Just thought I'd even it out a little bit. So here we are, top 5. The love and hate coming in at number 5 is... Well, for my number 5 love, I've picked Dexter, as it seems that it's a well written show, and after just finishing watching series 3, the atmosphere in it is still quite good, and you have to look at and it shows you to look at it from a serial killer's perspective.